Okay, I'm Chris Watton, I'm a meditation teacher.
I'm Dan Keneally and I'm a meditation teacher.
So yeah.
Being in the world.
Yes.
A topic today. The idea of bringing the benefits of meditation or inner work out into the world rather than retaining them internally.
Ah, yes. That is the great point. What came up for me was kind of escaping into meditation. So those are two things that fit into that topic and very interesting. So yeah, the first concept, what are some of the things that you feel in meditation that you'd like to bring out or encourage people to bring out into their lives?
The obvious ones that I see are peace, calmness and stillness. Let's start with those three. Meditation doesn't always have to be really peaceful or really still. We know that there's meditations, the majority of meditations where thoughts can be part of the process, and that's an attitude to having an understanding of what kind of experience should or shouldn't I be having in meditation. Once you get past the idea that thoughts are part of meditation and that aren't a barrier, then you can appreciate the moments where there are no thoughts for the moments that they are, which is peace and stillness and calmness. The more that you start to feel those internally in meditation in an eyes closed state, the more you remind yourself that you're capable of also feeling those in an eyes open state. And that's a really nice realization for some people, because I think most people would want to bring that out with them.
Yeah, definitely. And what's coming up for me is being kind of paralyzed by decisions or overthinking. And in meditation, where you step back from the thoughts and work with them, like you said, or change the relationship you have with them, that's bringing that into life for me was amazing. Not to be just distracted by the thoughts and going off ruminating about something just because it popped up or a feeling popped up and then I had a thought. So you're bringing that kind of calmness and a trust in yourself and trust in life. That's the main thing I think I've got from meditation.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's really important that we encourage people to be at peace with the fact that thoughts are part of the meditation. Because not only does that mean that they can meditate and they can get past that barrier or that perceived barrier, but it also tells them that if thoughts aren't a barrier in meditation, then thoughts are also not a barrier outside of meditation. And again, it's that self-confidence that I can't operate by thinking that thoughts are okay to have in meditation, whatever those thoughts may be: anxiety, stress, frustration, anger, sadness, to-do lists, busyness, scatty minds. I can't be okay with having thoughts in meditation and think that's okay, and then have a completely different attitude to my thoughts outside of meditation. And that changes people's relationship with themselves, and it changes people's relationship with the world around them once that penny drops. And that's when people then start to say, this is something that I can get on board with. I can bring out that feeling that I have in meditation. When I finish meditation and I feel a bit calmer, or feel a bit glad of the rest, or I've had some stillness, then I'm going to carry this on. And the more you meditate with regularity, the more that post-meditation feeling stays with you. So
one thing I have got from meditation is this kind of actively stepping into peace. So when I started meditation, I'd be kind of like waiting for something to happen. I'd be like, when's it going to come to me? Like this peaceful Zen feeling. And that was a bit like what my life was like. I was kind of waiting for something to change, hoping for something to change. But when I kind of worked in my meditation in a way that's, I'm actively going to change my relationship to the thoughts and like step back from them, but in a way that's like, I don't have to tend to that feeling and thought right now. I can be with it and let it flow. It's a certain type of activeness that isn't passive waiting for something to happen. It's a kind of, I can deal with this. I'm going to actively work to form a better relationship with myself, my thoughts and feelings. And that's what I took into life. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, a trust in myself kind of feeling.
Yeah, I had a great phrase the other day. Reveal it, feel it,
Okay.
heal it.
Oh, nice.
And it's about those emotions and feelings that may come up in meditation, and being a witness or an observer to whatever those thoughts and emotions, sensations, feelings may be. Is that we have that self-awareness to not get bogged down and caught up in those sensations that may come up in meditation, because meditation can be quite self-revealing, especially at the beginning. You know, that idea that if you're not feeling discomfort in meditation when you first begin, you're doing it incorrectly. I really like that, because it just sets the expectation that this might not be an easy ride, because if there is any residual stress, anxiety, emotion, tiredness in me, I'm going to feel it, because it needs to surface and dissolve, and I need to witness that kind of process. You know, reveal it, feel it, heal it. That's just what you're talking about, and it's a really nice way for people to understand that I can be a part of this process. I know which stage of the process I'm at depending on how I'm feeling, and be okay with it.
I love that. And for me, it was really important to, when I first started meditating, I'd see how busy I was, and that was a bit worrying. So reveal it, feel it, heal it. I love that, because a lot of the stuff that was coming up for me, or the ruminations, or the stuff that was bothering me in my life, would just keep kind of happening, and I hadn't revealed it in a certain way. So with the meditation, I was able to sort of be with that and see what was going on, and change my relationship with that and deal with that in a different way. So to feel it, a lot of stuff just wanted to be felt. I was worried about stuff, I was angry about stuff, but instead of kind of feeling it and healing it, I was just either doing stuff like habitual behaviour, acting out of worry, or just ruminating. So that energy would be stuck. It just needed to be felt and healed, just be revealed. So that resonates with me.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be big stuff either.
No.
You know, it can be small stuff that's just got that kind of that kind of gripped annoyance within you. And just to be able to witness that and observe it, or understand that that's a process. You know, this whole "you are not your thoughts" is something that we hear all the time, but it is so true. And if you're capable of having that awareness within meditation, you're also capable of having that awareness outside of meditation. And when thoughts bubble up in an eyes open state, you're able to go, hang on, I know what to do here. I can just, it's been revealed, I can feel it, I can observe it. Everything's temporary, it will pass. You know, and then I can just move on. You know, I've not got that attachment, and meditation allows us to bring that kind of non-attachment to thoughts, images, sensations, feelings, emotions out into our waking state. And that's where the peace comes in, because then you're at much more peace with how you navigate life, because you're not controlled or you know, kind of weighed down by the thoughts that may have once had that effect on you.
Exactly, and that bring it into life. I'm so passionate about taking it into life. Some people kind of escape in their meditation or their spirituality. We've heard of spiritual bypass. But for me, it's so important to bring those learnings, or that different relationship with yourself or life into your life. And it's the little moments where you can act a little differently, not snap at someone, not engage, not take anything on. I'm not taking that comment that someone made on. These little moments built up over your daily life, your week, can be huge. So for me, there's the practice, you have to do the practice to get to this sort of new way of being, but really encouraging people to bring it out into the moments, and to bring the meditation into life. It's a very physical experience as well. I think a lot of people think that meditation is purely a mental experience. It's a very physical experience. If you're meditating and you have a medium of experience that you're meditating on, so a mantra or a breath, or a somatic sensation, or somebody's voice, something that keeps your attention, however you know strong that attention is,
whenever you realize that your mind has wandered, if your practice suggests that you just bring your awareness gently back to the medium of experience that forms the basis of your meditation, simply by recognizing that thought that you're having and bringing it back, you're breaking that chain of your mind. It's running away wherever it wants to go. You're breaking that chain and bringing it back. And that's creating new neural pathways in your brain. The more you meditate with consistency and regularity, the more positive neural pathways are being created that will ultimately enable you to think in a different way outside of meditation. Think in a new way, a better way, a more productive way, maybe with less fear. Thinking and making decisions from a place of less stress, with less cortisol, less amygdala use, more prefrontal cortex use. That's it's a very physical thing.
It is.
And that's why people, it's not a magic thing that happens when you meditate. You're physically changing your makeup and the way that your mind and brain behaves.
100%. I love that. That is my work in my hypnotherapy, CBT. It's all about the nervous system. The relationship between the emotional state, the nervous system, the thoughts, and the behaviours and your interactions. That is exactly what you're saying. So learning to work with those. So not going from that automatic brain pathway, like you were saying, reacting to someone, or reacting in fear or anxiety when you see your boss's email pop up. Like, I'll just ignore it, or I'll reply back in an angry way. These are patterns that we just form. And what you're saying is with meditation, we'll pause that, slow it down. For me, when the nervous system is relaxed and the mind is relaxed, everything goes a bit slower, and it opens up how you want to respond. So I love that, bringing that into life, into those interactions.
It's why people say meditators are so calm. It's not because they're making an effort to be calm. They're physically less calm. Their nervous system has a baseline of less stress from which they can make decisions with more clarity and focus. More space. They're not making too many emotional decisions. Their emotional intelligence is increasing. Their self-awareness is increasing. It's a very physical, chemical reaction. I didn't know about the hypnotherapy aspect of it. It's quite interesting that kind of the meditation angle and the hypnotherapy angle sort of meet in the middle. But I guess that's just different ways of explaining how the human body works and behaves, and understanding or making people understand that they can just do a simple technique with some practice and regularity and some coaching, and it will work. That's the thing. Even if you don't believe it will work, it will work, and that's the beauty of it. Exactly. And you might not be able to believe that from a mindset you're at the time, but with relaxing the nervous system, relaxing the mind, you will get to a state where you will see things in a different light. So you were saying about it being really physical, and I wanted to share from my story. I tried meditation, and like you said, it had been a really thinky kind of thing. I'd be all in the head. And I wasn't even aware of like how my nervous system was or how my body was. And there'd be quite a lot of emotions in there, quite a lot of energy. And that's why I kind of do a practice that you might call body-fulness. It's like mindfulness and body-fulness. I just say that to make sure I engage the body and feel what the nervous system feels like, feel like the emotions like. So it's not just a thinky process. So for me, that unlocked meditation so much. So it's really passionate about telling people it is a physical thing, not just the mind. It's absolutely not just about the experience that we have when we close our eyes. Again, that's probably one of the biggest misconceptions that people have. I always say, because it's said often and we see it splashed over Instagram, but you don't meditate for the benefits that you feel inside meditation. You meditate for the benefits you feel outside of meditation. It doesn't matter what happens on the inside. It's outside meditation. That's where the real benefits happen. That's where the real experience begins to reveal itself, and it's intrinsically linked.
And I wanted to touch on this idea of escaping, whether it's through meditation or spirituality, because I think people can have a bit of that even if they don't know that. Sometimes they might meditate to get to sleep, or when they're stressed, and there's this idea that I should be able to listen to a guided meditation, I should be able to go somewhere and let go of all these feelings and thoughts. And that's kind of true. Once you've been practiced, you can step back from feelings and thoughts. But sometimes there's a slight attitude in there of I will need to escape from this. I just can't deal with this. And then people use meditation to detach and not deal with the problem. So they might be amazing at meditating. They might meditate for 2 hours a day, but then as soon as they have a conversation with someone in the street, they're like agitated. This is not bringing it into life. I do think it's a phase that you can go through. I think I went through a phase where I'm like, oh my gosh, meditation is amazing. Like, I want to spend more time in that place. And then I had to learn that, like, actually I have a role in the world, and I want to be in the world and bring that energy in, like peace into the world. Yeah, I don't know if that resonates.
I think so. We've all got a responsibility to do the very best that we can for ourselves and for our communities and the world around us. It sounds very grand, but ultimately that's one of the pinnacles of human behaviour that's lacking in a lot of the world that we see today. However we've experienced life, or however we've navigated challenges or situations in the past, once the penny drops that you've got that responsibility and that you've got tools and techniques that can help you navigate better, then use it for good. Use it for the betterment of yourself, and use it to help other people around you. Inspire people. I always say that it's, rather than tell people about the benefits of meditation, just show them what those benefits are by being an exemplar of your practice. Lead by example. You shouldn't have to tell people how good meditation is. They should be asking you, because they can see it in you. And that's just a sure sign that, like you say, you're bringing those good qualities out of meditation. People see it. Even if you don't feel it, people see it. And people make comments to people. People make comments when they start meditating. They notice little subtleties in their behavior and attitude. And meditation does great things. It's a great marker that it's coming out slowly, and the more you meditate, the more it will come out.
I love that. I think that's a great place to end. I think that is the pinnacle, is when you're making a difference, people are seeing it,